So I missed last week's Loki review. I forgot to do it on my previous stream, and now that I'm streaming today on Friday instead of Thursday because of my conversation with Demon Mama, I'm able to cover 2 Loki episodes in a week. So we've got episodes 3 and 4, so we're kind of in the middle of this season, and I did a segment this stream about how I'm kind of having Marvel burnout, and I'm kind of feeling it here too. There's some interesting things going on this season, but I still am so wary about the direction that they're going. Knowing what I know about how Marvel has been producing their TV shows, where they haven't had proper showrunners. Every single time I watch one of these shows, I'm like going, well, I don't know how I'm feeling it, but maybe there's something. And at this point, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about it, and there's probably nothing. And the last 2 episodes are the ones where we get Jonathan Majors as Victor Timely, one of the Kang variants. And I've, had I have talked a couple times about my issues with Jonathan Majors remaining as Kang after the allegations came out. And I think these episodes have kind of made me feel even better about not wanting him to stay on, because I actually don't like his performance here. I thought he did a great job in the season 1 finale as He Who Remains, but here he plays another Kang variant called Victor Timely. And he's like this 19th century con man, professor inventor kind of a guy who talks like this, very eccentrically, and has pauses in weird places, and it's so over the top cartoonish that it like takes me out of it. I'm not seeing, when I'm looking at that, I'm like, I am not seeing a person. I am seeing somebody doing a caricature. I'm seeing someone do a performance. It just makes me hyper aware of the fact that he's an actor who is trying to do an acting. If that's what we're going to be getting from Kang doing, like, even just ignoring the legal issues, just as a performer, if this is how Jonathan Majors is going to take his approach to different Kang variants, I don't see how it's going to work out well for Marvel. Ignoring all the legal stuff, just from a pure entertainment side of things, I thought he was really obnoxious. I don't feel like the show has an ultimate end goal in mind. At the end of episode 2, a bunch of rogue TVA agents went and pruned a bunch of timelines. And then at the start of episode 3, they're like, oh, the branches that were pruned are growing back. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so that whole thing about how they killed billions of people, it's not actually true, because those branches are growing back, so those people are still there. They went and immediately undermined it there, but then people are still treating it seriously. And also there's the whole thing where Sylvie killed He Who Remains last season, which caused all of the branching timelines, which was the point, because they wanted to stop the sacred timeline from pruning all of the branches and killing all of the variants and everything like that. But one of the main focuses this season has been, okay, now that we've got all of these branches, we're trying to weave them together into the sacred timeline using this, they call it the loom, and it's this big thing that's you can see all of the different strands of the timeline still being woven into one. So the show seems very inconsistent, it doesn't know what story it wants to tell, whether there should be a sacred timeline, or what should happen with these branching timelines. Is the loom actually forcing them all into a single timeline? They're not clear on it at all. And I think, special effects wise, the show looks great. The 3rd episode took place basically almost entirely during the Chicago World's Fair in 1892 or something like that. And the production design for that episode was great, because they were building real sets. And there's honestly, probably one of my favorite moments is because it's the World's Fair, so they've got, booths set up from around the world, and Loki sees a booth set up for Norway, where they've got like statues of like Norse mythology, and so like he sees statues of Odin and Thor and Baldur, and he's like, Baldur, nobody even knows who Baldur is. And then Mobius is like, oh, you're just mad because they don't have you up there. But that was kind of a cute moment. But I don't know. I'm really getting burned out on the MCU, and I don't know where they're going with it. They ended episode 4 on a big cliffhanger, and they ended it in a cliffhanger where I was expecting there to be like a post-credit scene to carry it on. Because like in season 1 of Loki, at the end of the 4th episode, Loki gets pruned. And at that point, we don't know that pruning doesn't kill you. And so from that, when they did that, it looks like, oh, wait, did they actually kill Loki and now Sylvie's going to be the main character? But then they had a post-credit scene so that you knew, oh no, Loki's actually still alive. So I was expecting to see that because they kind of have like a similar catastrophic cliffhanger that they ended on this week, but they don't. So I actually kind of like that better. Just leaving things far more in the air. It lets people speculate more. There's, you know, the whole water cooler effect, where people go into the office Monday after they watched an episode and discuss what happens. And, you know, there's value to the water cooler effect when there's a plan. But I don't really believe that Marvel has plans for their shows. So any speculation is kind of like, what's the point? They don't know where they're going with it when they wrote that episode. They'll figure that out next week. So anyway, that's my general thoughts on the last couple episodes of Loki. Production design is fine. It feels like it's been less over-reliant on obvious CG the way that some other Marvel productions have been, other than like seeing like the outside of the TVA with, you know, you've got your shots of the loom with all of the time streams and stuff like that, but like they've built like actual sets for characters to interact in. I really like that. So many things these days are using the volume, and they're using the volume not to enhance a set, but to get away from having to build a set, which leads to a lot of big empty open spaces that doesn't end up looking good because they've been using it as a crutch instead of as a tool to enhance. This show has done better in that regard. I think this show looks a lot better than a lot of Marvel properties. This show actually has like a genuine like color palette to it instead of just like muted, even lighting, washed out colors like a lot of Marvel shows have. But story-wise, it kind of feels like all of the other Marvel shows at this point. So there's my thoughts. We'll see what happens next week. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream every Monday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons, with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone Friend tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.